Hello again, Handy Andy with Handy Andy Handyman. And we're out today. If you can see our little truck is right over there. We're going through one of our local subdivision HOAs to give them some information, some feedback on some repairs for their clubhouse. And we've done quite a few of these over the years. Some of the things you'll see on here is homeowners or people that follow us online on YouTube. You'll see that some things get repeated. We try to make these informational for our clients, but also for prospective folks considering work with us, or just people that want to take care of their homes. HOAs, some people pitch in and do it all. Sometimes they divvy it out. Sometimes they farm it out to companies like us. So we're going to go through this one real fast. We're losing some hours here. Great little building. We're in West Cobb here. And you can see on this particular property, they've got gutter helmets on here. They got metal gutter covers across the top. Whenever you see your gutters looking like this, they've called us out to clean the gutters. And what you're seeing is all that streaking. As soon as you see that streaking down the face of your gutter, it tells you a couple things. It tells you that your gutters aren't working, number one, because you shouldn't have any streaking like that. And number two, with the gutter helmets, and we'll get up here a little bit for you so you can see, the salesmen that sell these products never tell you, but you can see the little curved edge on the top of these gutters. If I can zoom in on it right there. See that curved edge right there on that brown piece above the gutter? Right up in there, right? That piece right there. What they don't tell you is that in order for these systems to work, you need to clean that lip, depending on where you are, once or twice a year, at least once a year. If you don't, the water's going to shed over the top, because what ends up happening is mold and mildew and algae forms on that lip, and so by their design, the force of gravity just slides it right over the top now instead of having the water drop into the gutter. You can see the gap between. So we'll clean the gutters. Grit and granules will still get inside of the gutter with this kind of a system, but it does help, if you got lots of trees like what they have here. They're probably cleaning these gutters every few months. So here they just need to clean this edge and the gutters themselves. Clean the gutters themselves once a year and check them, twice a year to clean the gutter helmets, and you should be fine. But whenever someone tries to sell you something that's maintenance free, just shake hands and walk away, because it just doesn't work that way in real life. So they brought us out for that. I'd recommend cleaning the building up. There's a couple little repairs. We're on the right side of the house, on the right side of the clubhouse. And you see we got some cracking around here, around this window. And you've got a few points of entry where this is a stucco building, it's a synthetic stucco. See the gap right here? So every time it rains, water's getting in. So I suggest that they've got 3 windows here, this window and 2 on the front that need to be cleaned, caulked, and then go ahead and repaint those. And again, you can see on the right side right here where the drive-it is expanded, and you've got a big gap in here. So every time it rains, water's going right in there. And then on top of it, they've got a jet for a sprinkler head right here. So every time that sprinkler head comes on, it's pumping water all through here. You can see where somebody's come back in at one point in time and did a little bit of caulking, but see the black line where it's failed and pulled away? So as you look around your building, just look for that. If you see any circles, little small circles, almost like a pen point coming through the caulk line, that's an ant hole. So you just want to let your exterminator know that. Like if you look right here, this little hole right here, more than likely that's an ant hole. So you come out here the right time of day, you might see some ants coming through, but see all this pull, the black line? That's what's going to cost this homeowners group some money over time. They can go ahead and nick it now. Really, they need to touch up around this stucco here. You can see the mesh, the fabric behind the stucco coming through on these edges. So it's really just this first right side window needs to be caulked and repainted. And then as we come around the front, we'd recommend go ahead and pressure wash the whole clubhouse, just because all this trim up in here is just so dirty. And when you see the fascia boards here across the front, we'll see if we can zoom in. It's getting a little bit dark, so you might see all that streaking down here. This is all mildew and algae on the wood all the way across. And just come down through and clean this face up, because we're getting near the season. And then these 2 front windows right here, same thing. Whenever you see black gaps like this around the trim, let you know, hey, I got to do something about that. Get in there and caulk it before these windows start rotting out. This window is solid. Same thing, caulk around the edges has failed. You can see the gaps in here. So just go ahead and caulk the window up, put 1 fresh coat of paint on there, and you'll be good to go. It looks like over time we've lost a couple stones here underneath this window ledge. They're probably laying right here underneath the pine straw. If we could find those and just put those back in. This is just a stone veneer, so right now is getting back behind underneath this window. The other window is fine, but same thing. If we can just caulk it, clean it up, and paint it, you'll be good to go there. And then there's just one little piece of rot over here, and you're coming around tennis court side. We've got an access door right here that you can see down at this bottom, we got a little bit of rot right here. This is all soft and rotted. So we just come in with an angle cut right here and repair that piece of brick mold, and then just go ahead and caulk and repaint this trim. You can see the bottom side over here is starting to rot right here as well. And it's really where whoever built this thing pieced that in. It's finger jointed trim. You gotta always, whenever you're replacing wood like this or installing new stuff, have your contractor back prime the edges and back prime the entire piece of wood. We go back and forth all the time with homeowners and investors on whether they should use PVC product for trim. And there's pros and cons to it. We don't use PVC for trim ever. It's just not the market for it. It'll warp, it'll split, it'll fade, it'll crack here in Atlanta. And you can see that by 10 years ago, there were probably 25 suppliers of vinyl siding here in Atlanta, and now there's only 2 that I'm aware of because no one's using it. The builders aren't using it anymore. They're going to hardy plank. So we like to use wooden trim here. It lets us know, especially on a stucco building, if we've got a problem. I'd much rather repair the trim before I get into stucco and frame repairs and all that. And then the last little piece we have to look at repairing on this one is just same thing. See the cracks around it and the gaps around it. Just caulk and paint this vent, and they'll be good to go on this particular clubhouse for the season. I'm Andy with Handy Andy. We do all kinds of stuff. You can catch us right there, 770-912-2829. That's us, HandyANDYHome.com. Been here in Atlanta 25 years. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Anything we can do for you, let us know. We're at 770-912-2829. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.